All right. Welcome back to another live clinic. My name is Chris Haddad alongside, as always, Coach Ryan Swingle. Today we have Coach PJ Gibbs, defensive coordinator at Palmetto Ridge High School in Naples, Florida. Coach, appreciate you taking the time to join us on the live clinic.
I'm psyched, man. I'm ready to go.
So, Coach, you're going to be talking about pressure packages today from 2, 3, and 4 down. So, Coach, without wasting any time, if you wanted to pull up your screen, we can start sharing and jump right into this thing.
Let's get after it. Okay. All right. All right, guys. First of all, I thank you guys for having me on. This is really cool. First time doing one of these live deals, and I'm really psyched. So we're gonna be talking about packages from the 2 down, 3 down, and 4 down. My name is PJ Gibbs. I'm at Palmetto Ridge High School in Naples, Florida. Be starting my 21st year of coaching in the fall. That's my social media. If you guys want to get a hold of me, that's my Twitter. When we talk anything, obviously we have a Q&A after this, so I can answer any questions you guys want. I'll get through real quick, kind of like, foundationally, like what we talk about and, how we kind of build this, build this package and our pressures. And we're a very heavy pressure team. We're going to be more based out of, odd front this year, just because of the personnel that's going to dictate to us. But first thing we talk about is that equation up top, S plus T minus X equals W. So for us, that means sacks plus turnovers minus explosive plays will equal win. So, again, we want to stress getting after the quarterback. We want to stress TFLs, but still guys doing their job and being fundamental. An explosive play for us is anything over 15 yards. Some people, in the past, we've used 20 depending on our personnel, but you guys have to define that. What an explosive play is and how to limit those. And obviously, if you can get more sacks and more turnovers and you can limit the explosive plays, you'll have a pretty good shot at winning. We set our threshold at obviously, we'd like to shut everybody out, but we set our threshold at 17 points or less, against our opponents. So, a couple things we talk about. We talk about being +2 at practice every day. Kind of ties in with the last one about being getting better or getting worse. You never stay the same. You always want to try to improve on something from the previous day. Don't mistake complacency for greatness. So, if you're continually, just not achieving and not getting better at something, you're just kind of staying stagnant. We don't want to get complacent. Also, too, when you're coaching, pick and choose. There are 2 types of kids, right? There's a kid that you can kick in the butt. There's a kid that you need to pat on the back. There's really none in between. So really need to figure out, what your kids are and how they do that. And then if my kids were on here, they tell you that Coach Gibbs probably says about 75 to 100 times a day. You don't wake up to be average. Anybody can roll out of bed and just go through their day and float through it and just kind of rinse and repeat and do it over again. But, we don't wake up to be average. And that's kind of like our mantra, going forward with our black shirt defensive culture. Our goals, we talk about no traders on defense. So we talk, you need to run to the football. You need to get after it, run to the football. Some of our goals, again, no explosive plays over 20 yards. One of the one fact that Coach Chenandler he was at Central Florida at the time. We went and saw them before they went to Nebraska. He talked about if you have a sack on a drive, there's a 93% chance that you're not going to give up any points. So that's kind of like, we stress to our kids about doing their jobs. You're going to get your TFLs. You're going to get your sacks. Again, we want to hold teams under 100 yards rushing. That's our goal. So these are our goals that we talk about, and stress every day. All right. So the first one, I'm going to go start the 2 down stuff. This is a simulated pressure. We're going to show 5. All right. We're gonna rush 4. Okay. So this is against 10 personnel. Now the pressure always has to come from the back. The pressure always has to come from the back. So this is our 2 down stuff. You guys can see our ends in a head up 4. We're in a head up 0. We're in a 3 or a 4-eye, and then we have our jack and our viper here, and then we have our backer in the middle. Okay. The pressure is going to come to the back. All right. So we're going to, on the snap, we want them to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are coming. All right. And then we're going to send this guy late. This is a good pressure against, that high low route or that mesh route, the under with the over. because it's going to give the quarterback a look that you're really going to want. So on the snap, this 4 is going to rip outside the tackle. He's going to be your contained player. Your nose is going to go in the left A gap. Your backer's coming here, and he's going to open this middle up for the quarterback. Your 4-eye or 3, however you want to line him up, he's going to rush the B gap. This jack is going to step to the tackle to pull him out, okay? What we will like to do is either we'll put him, obviously he's a peel contain on the running back, or if you have a quarterback you want to spy, he can be an aggressive spy, okay? The Viper is now going his landmark, and that's we talk about landmarks. So the Viper is going to replace this backer and look for work, okay? So basically if we get the low under and the high over, he's going to look here, see the under route, and he's going to work towards the over route because he knows he has help, okay? We're going to trap this side, play trap coverage, and we're 3 over 2 here, all right? So we could play palms, we could play 2 read, we can play Tampa, whatever we want to do, okay? But for us, this is a really, really good pressure. Again, it's out of our 2 down. You guys can do it out of a 3 or a 4 down, depending on, what your personnel is. The key coaching point here is we let these guys make the call if they're going to be a trap or an invert. So if this wide out, the Z was really wide, we'd make an invert call. So now he's coming down, and then we're bailing to the half here. So we'll play invert to that side based on the split of the wide receiver. What you really need to do and what you really need to practice is you may see a team that's going to flip-flop the back. So we said we always wanted the pressure coming to the back. So what will happen is right now, this for us would be rat Ringo because the pressure's coming to the right. If he flip-flops, it becomes rat Lucky. So this backer now will walk up in this gap. He'll come back. And the jack knows if it's rat Lucky, he becomes the rat. And the Viper becomes the aggressive spy. Or you want to drop him into coverage, or he's going to be the peel contain guy. So that's a real good coaching point is make sure that you practice that in your walkthroughs. Obviously, if you're going to see that, you want to have that in practice. So for us, this is nickel rat. The next pressure, the 3-by-1, we call this magic. Okay. So basically, again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. We're sending 1, 2, 3, 4. He's a bonus guy. I'll talk about him in a second. All right. So you have your jack and a 5, a 3. So your TNT here. All right. 3, 0, 3, the Viper and a 5. You're going to get the end across in the A gap 1, the nose across in the B gap 2. Your backer is your wrapper. Okay. He's going on the snap. The Viper is going to step and get underneath number 3. Okay. And again, you could play a different combination of coverages. You can, bail him out, play Tampa, put him on number 3. All right. And again, he's going to be the simulated guy. He's going to step. We're trapping here, so he doesn't have to go. If you get any kind of inside route, he doesn't have to worry about it because the corner's trapping. So again, he can be an aggressive spy or a peel contain player on the back there. Again, I like this against a pass or run. I think this is a good stunt. The first stunt I think is more for a tendency. You're going to see that high-low route. This is more you can run against pass or you can run against the run. All right. Okay. Now this is out of a 2 down. This is our version of that boundary corner blitz. So for us, we would call this thunder. Okay. And I'll give you a little variation of what we're going to do here. So 3-by-1. Okay. All these guys are going to the field. The jack, the nose, the end, our Viper. Okay. Obviously the corner's coming hot. We're trapping the boundary with the safety. This backer is responsible for A gap. He has number 3 if he goes vertical. Okay. This safety becomes the boundary safety. So again, depending on who your guy is here, I mean, we have a guy that can get there from outside the tackle. You may want to line him up in the B gap so he can get here. Okay. And again, depending on how you want to play these 2 guys, because the backer has 3 control. Okay. And again, the rover for us is another defensive back. So he's a guy that could play the half of the field. If you wanted to play at Tampa, Palms, he's capable of doing multiple things. Now, a good way to change this up is, maybe the first half you get this jack consistently going underneath. Now what you do is you run them upfield in the second half and you bring the corner underneath. So just a different way of running Thunder. You're giving that offensive tackle different looks. And again, hitch into the boundary, run into the boundary, any type of, anything into the boundary. I like this stunt. I think the some guys call it cowboy, again, we call it Thunder. I think a lot of these guys are going to more of this corner blitz technique. Okay. Let me get to the 3-down stuff for you guys. Okay. So this is out of the three. This is out of the 3-down, 3 safety look. So this is Thunder out of the 3-down, 3 safety look. Okay. We ran this defense when I was coaching for the USA Football. So we're gonna walk these guys up. Obviously, it's a simulator. Okay. Again, this is only from the boundary. All right. So this is Thunder out of the 3-down, 3 safety look. So this guy's coming hot. Safety's trapping. Our rover, okay, is becoming the half safety. Okay. Everybody's moving to the field. This guy's dropping. He knows he has B gap responsibility. Okay. We're 3 over 2 here. All right. So we would play a Tampa hard corner half. Okay. Viper would be inside leverage at 2 here. Really good against the RPO. If we got motion to trips, he knows that he has 3 control now. Okay, he knows he has 3 control now. So 3 went up to shoot, okay, because we want to keep the Viper where he is. He's going to run, and he's going to have 3 control. So this is out of that Iowa State 3 safety. This was our pressure package that we ran in January. So again, this is Thunder, corner blitz from the boundary.
Yeah, Coach, can you talk a little bit about blitzing a corner? Because I know a lot of coaches are eerie about blitzing a corner. So from so far away, are there any points that you want to make on, technique wise when blitzing a corner?
I would never have a field guy go.
Sure.
I'd rather them exchange with the safety and make the safety go. I think that the 2 blitzes I talked about, the Thunder blitz, it's a shorter distance because you're coming from the boundary, so you're not really asking him to go, too far. But I think it depends on the personnel you have. Like, if you have guys that are man corners that don't want to mix it up, well, this might not be the blitz for you. You might want to send your safety. We generally have corners that are, 5'8", 5'9", and guys that like to tackle. So, we don't mind sending them. So I think the personnel that you have is going to dictate this thing. And again, why are you sending it? Are you sending it because they're running into the boundary? If they like to throw, go formation to the field and throw hitch into the boundary. I think it's a great pressure because then you're asking a high school quarterback to throw a hitch into a blitzing corner. That's more than likely going to be unblocked or picked up late.
Yeah. Yep.
But again, I think it all depends on, what your personnel dictates
Sure.
for you to be able to do that.
Sure.
So these 2 blitzes. All right. So this is fire, and we'll go over fire and we'll go smoke. Okay. So what we did was we started everything out of a Tampa 2. So Chris, I'm just going to kind of talk about their alignments, so you guys can understand where everybody needs to be. So in the Iowa State, this 3 safety defense. Okay. Our Viper always went to the formation. Now, again, this is 2x2. We're facing a right-handed quarterback. He's going to line up on the left. Okay, we're going to show Tampa 2 pre-snap. The Rovers rule was always to line up over number 3. Okay, so in this case, the back is number 3. That's why he's lined up there. All right, so fire for us meant that the pressure was coming inside. So when the ends heard fire, they knew they were outside contained, peel players. The nose always went left. Okay, it was the Viper and the back are away from the Viper were the inside pressure. These guys are coming down and inverting on the snap. Okay, inside leverage number 2. These corners are press bailing into their thirds, and the rover becomes the free safety. This backer knows he's responsible for that A gap. Okay, and again, the same rule applies. If he got motion of trips and he read pass, he knew he had to get underneath and help run with 3 vertical. Okay. But this was a good pressure against boot. We saw a lot of boot, and we mixed it up, and then also a lot of inside zone. I like this pressure, very much. Now smoke, the pressure is outside. So now these guys know that they're pinching. Okay. We're here. All right. Viper's now coming hot off the edge. This backer's coming off the edge. He's still responsible for his A gap. Okay. We got our invert safeties coming down. Corners are bailing into thirds. Okay. And again, if we got motion to trips, he'd have 3 control. Now, the thing is, this rover now, his rule dictates he has to line up over number 3. So he would slide this way, but then get back to the middle of the field. That's the one I pointed to go over on that last slide, to keep the rules consistent. But in smoke and fire, the rover is the free safety. Okay. Personnel-wise, this guy's got to be your dude because he has to be able to play the run, play the middle of the field, and then when you run your thunder pressure, he's the boundary half safety getting over top. So that guy's got to be your dude. Okay. And again, rules for the Viper, always go into the formation. The only time he just goes to the field is if he hears thunder. He knows thunder's coming. He automatically goes in the field. It doesn't matter what formation is in the boundary. All right. The corner blitz is coming from the boundary, so he knows he has to go to the field. Okay. This is if you want to send your rover. Okay. So we're going to mug the A gap with the 2 inside backers. Okay. We have our nose gets into a 3 technique. We have a 5 and we have a 4-eye. And now the Viper's up on the line of scrimmage. Okay. And like a wide 6. All right. So on the snap, our nose is going to get outside contain. Our end's going to get outside contain. These dudes are shooting the A gap. Now the rover is counting 1,001, 1,002. And now he's hitting the first available open gap. It could be the A gap on this side. Yeah, shoot, it may be the B gap, but his thing is not to run into the back of the same color jersey. The safety here, away from the Viper, becomes the free. The Viper replaces the rover. This line's drawn wrong. This guy's going to hang over number 2. All right. Our corners are bailing. Okay. Our end's gonna get through number 2 to the flat, but he's gonna make sure he gets his hands on 2. And obviously, if it's run, he's gonna react, and now he becomes a force defender. Okay. This is again, if you want to send your guy, and again, you're not. The one thing I liked about this defense was we never put our guys on an island in man coverage. We were playing 3 over 2 or 4 over 3, or we were playing blitzing 3 under 3 deep. And we were never putting our guys on an island, to maybe someone falls down or you get a penalty or whatever. Guys were always comfortable in what we were doing. So that was our rover stunt. This is how we attacked empty. So this is a 6-man pressure out of the 3-down stuff. Okay, so this was lightning, and we played blue, and we trapped this side or inverted, depending on the split. Okay, our rover, his rule is to find number 3. So he's got 3 control. So if 3 went up, he's got him. Okay. You could play Tampa. You could play Palms, whatever you want to do. But the thing is, our thing is saying you have 5 to block. We have 6 coming. So you better get the ball out. So our ends know in Lightning, they were contained players. The nose, this was the only stunt where he went to the right. The right linebacker crossed in the A gap. This backer blitz in the B gap. This Viper is going to look like he's on 3. And then he's hitting his B gap on the run. So we got a 6-man pressure against 5 guys blocking. Somebody's coming free. And then hopefully we can steal it on the trap. Or if it's real wide, then we're going to play the invert half on this side. So that was lightning blue trap.
And Coach, about I think it was like 2 blitzes ago, we had a question that came through about who takes the fly or the option away. I believe it was 2. It could have been that one. Yeah. And Joe, if it wasn't who asked the question, please let me know. But yeah, he asked about option or who takes the fly or the option away is the question that came through.
Takes the option route or if they run speed option.
Yeah, Al says who takes the fly or the option away. I would assume speed option.
Speed. Okay, so if we got speed option of this, I mean, if you think about it, right? The quarterback's going to have to make a quick decision because this dude's coming. All right. So for me personally, I love it when high school quarterbacks want to pitch the ball. All right. You have this guy coming. All right. He's quarterback to pitch. And now you have a safety coming down. And here's the deal. If this slot can block your strong safety, you got to find a new strong safety. So you should be 2 for 1 on the pitch. The only thing is that this guy has to understand that if he goes underneath this block, he better make that tackle if this guy misses.
Yep.
Right. So that would be my answer to speed option. It's just telling you guys where you want them, where you want to line up. But like I said, if this slot can block your strong safety, you better go to the free agent pool, go back to the drawing board or something.
Yeah.
That's not good for business.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a 3-down stuff. Let me get into the 4-down stuff. Okay. So I'll go through the kind of progression we teach this stuff. So that was 2, 3, and I'm going to go through really 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 4-down pressures. So this is the first one we install out of the mug AGAP. Look, I don't recommend these really against 11 personnel just because it adds an extra gap. I like these a lot against 10 personnel. So this one for us is Clemson. So we always played with 2 2s and 2 5s because we don't have a guy that's a real 3 technique type guy. So Clemson for us is these guys up. Now the way we teach it to start is the left inside linebacker is going to fire his gap. The right inside linebacker is going to fire his gap. These guys know nothing can get outside of them. They're contained players. Okay. And again, we'll play cover 1, or if we want to, we'll play robber. But robber for us is we're putting the free safety on the running back. So it adds an extra guy in the box, and these guys are on an island. Okay. As we get into the season, I'll allow these guys to cross, and they just got to tell each other who's going first. That way we don't have guys running into each other. But I like this against any type of spread run stuff. Because again, you're sending 6, and they got 5 to block it. So you're going to force the issue. And then again, if you want to play robbery, you have the free safety in the mix in the run game as well. So that for us is Clemson. The next progression for us now is jump. Now all jump means is that it's the same look, but the tackles are pinching the A gaps. The backers are jumping around in the B gaps. The rules don't change for the ends. They're still peel contain. And again, you can play cover 1 or you can play robber, depending on what we're doing. The next progression in that stun is bull for us. And bull now all these guys are pinching, the ends included with the tackles, and the backers are wrapping. And they're your contained players. So that's 3 pressures that we'll run. And then we'll run a simulated look out of that as well, which is right here if you don't want to play any man. So this for us is Blue Jay. So this is our 4 under 3 deep kind of cover 3 pressure. So they're gonna get out. Tackles are gonna go in the B gaps. These guys are coming hot. The Viper, strong safety is gonna start in a 2 high look. He's gonna start creeping down and hit that on the run. Corners are press bailing. Okay, our ends are hitting the tackles and they're getting out to the flat, reading pass. Okay, and then the free safety obviously becomes your middle field defender. Okay. And then this linebacker would have 3 control if 3 went up the chute, 1 vertical. All right. But that's if you want to get, you're given a heavy dose of Clemson, jump, bull, and now all of a sudden you get those guys to back out, and now you bring hot edge pressure. And again, I like this stunt, honestly, against teams that are like big tunnel screen teams, because what we'll do is we'll train our ends to get flat and then work their way back underneath the line of scrimmage, because, this guy will want to get here, catch the ball, and get underneath everything. So we'll train these guys during the week to get here and get to a cone and then get back underneath. So I like this stuff against a tunnel screen team as well. And then we have I don't want to get to that yet. Get to that. Let's get to all right, let's go to Panther. All right, so we have 2 stunts that it's the same stunt. It just depends on what side you want to send the Viper from. So for us, and I'll show you guys a film clip here in a second, we have Panther. Okay, now The backers have to tell the D-line which way they're going. So Panther, they know they're sending the D-line away from the Viper, okay? The only caveat here is this dude to the side of the Viper has to get across the center into this backside A-gap because this linebacker is coming hot on the snap, okay? And it just depends on who your personnel is. Like, I've had guys that can line up in a 3 technique and get across. I've had guys that have to be a 0 and because they can't make it. Doesn't matter. However they do, just make sure they get there. Okay. Now it's cover 0. All right. Now this backer has the back, and if the back blocks, he will then look to help on any intermediate route. Okay. Also, you could spy him on the quarterback if you're facing a team that has an athletic quarterback. So if this for us would be Panther, Ringo, because the D line's going right, and black is our cover 0. All right. So I'll show you a play here. I'll get to the wide shot, and I'll show you guys the end zone shot. Our linebacker does a real good job here. Okay. Get rid of this. Okay. So here, all right, you can see our Vipers right here. So here the Panther call. So now he's going. He knows he's blitzing. Linebackers are calling. Now they're going Panther Ringo. Okay, now we're getting the coverage set here. Okay, corners locked. This backer's not going. He's checking the running back. Running back blocks. He's going to get underneath number 2 or number 3. And I'll slow-mo it for you guys. So you see the Viper. You see the safety coming over and taking number 2. Okay, overload. Now that back blocks, quarterback doesn't even see my guy here. And he gets a pick. Okay, I'll go back to the beginning. Slow it down, and I'll show you guys our linebacker does a real good job. Okay, so we got Panther. Okay, so Panther Ringo, Panther Ringo. It was a great job. Good read. Did his job. Back blocked. Look for the first threat. Got a pick out of it. So I'll show you guys the end zone view now. 16 is supposed to get across the center's face here. He doesn't do that. 5's the one going, so he keeps working to open grass, and he does a really, really good job here. I'll slow it down again for you guys. So they're going Ringo. So 16, you see 5. So now 5, yep. So we get that wrap. I think the linebacker does a really good job, okay? So that's our overload to the passing strength. So Panthers passing strength now. Bama's to the back. So the Viper, if he hears Bama or Panther, he knows he has to find the passing strength or the back. So this for us would be Bama Lucky. And again, this guy's got to know he needs to get across here. This guy's coming. Okay, he is eyeing the back. We're coming hot. He has nothing to do. So if this back disappears, he is your quarterback player. So that back disappears. He has no business in there. He's waiting for the quarterback. Okay, and we're locked up. We're in 0. Okay, but I like those 2 pressures because it's the same blitz. It just depends on where you want to send your pressure from. Do you want to send it from the passing strength? You want to send it from the back. Okay, I'll show you guys one more, and I got a film clip of it. This for us is out of that double A gap. Look, again, this for us is Michigan. It's a little bit different, but the nice thing with Michigan, Bama, and Panther is that if any of the guys ever get confused, it's always the Viper and the linebacker opposite the Viper, okay? So this for us would be Michigan Lucky because these guys are hot. These guys are live. They're moving. These guys aren't, okay? So we're still getting edge pressure from the Viper, all right? The tackle's going in the B gap. The end is wrapping in the A gap. This backer, same rule. He's going to keep his eyes inside. A gap, B gap, C gap, peel, contain, locked up, okay, locked, and locked, okay? But it's a good pressure. I'm going to show you one, show you a clip. The quarterback makes a heck of a throw. Yep, this is it right here. Again, I'll slow it down for you guys too so we can see it here. Okay. So again, Viper's going to go. We're going to get our twist here. This backer's going to go. He's going to drop. Okay. Corner does a really, really poor job getting his hands on this guy. It lets him release, and then that's why he ends up making a great catch. But the pressure, I mean, we're like a split second away, but I tell my guys all the time, I mean, look, that quarterback holds that ball for a split second. This kid makes a great catch to both feet in too. It was a good teaching point for the secondary. Is like, get your hands on the receiver and we get a sack, or maybe even a sack fumble. But just take a look at the pressure. We get the wrap. We got, this offensive tackle standing there blocking nobody. Vipers coming clean. Backer came clean too. Again, a heck of a catch by this kid, but it's the little things, right? Details, little things that we talk to our guys about that they need to be, really fine-tuned, and that would have stopped that big play. All right. Chris, I'm done. If you got any questions. I think that was like 35 minutes, right?
That's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to open the chat right now. We did have some questions come through, but if there are any other questions, feel free to ask them now, and Coach can answer them live on air. Sure. Coach, first question that came through, and you touched on it a little bit towards the end there and throughout the presentation as well. Can you talk about the play calling structure and what you actually signal in from the sideline, or are you all verbal?
We tried a couple different things. So I'm a big fan of like one word. So like if I call Panther, that's really all I have to call, because the kids know that we've walked through Panther all week. They know we're in zero coverage, and the linebackers know which way to send the D line. So I'm big into like one word. So like, with our packages. So like, unless we're coming off the sideline with nickel, I shouldn't have to call nickel, because the kids know that we're in nickel. Yep. I think the less verbiage you have, the better off you're going to be. But like, zooming a lot of these college guys over this quarantine period, like their one word can mean like 7 different things, with the stunt and this, that, the other thing. So I think the less verbiage, we tried the wristband too with the numbers, which against up-tempo teams, and we don't really, our offense is probably the most up-tempo that we'll see all year. But I think wristbands aren't a bad idea, but I'm a big like one word guy, either, the stunt and then the coverage behind it. So really 2 words at most.
Yep. Makes sense. Second question that came through is coaching points for your bailing linebackers that are in a simulated pressure look. If they're bailing out to 2 or if they're bailing to a spot drop.
So, we always tell them, linebackers, right? Obviously down in distance, we school them on, but I always want their eyes as their first step, their eyes should really, by their third step, they should know what's going on. But their eyes have to be inside, because they're still responsible for that gap when they're dropping. By their third step, they should know it's run or pass, and then they get into wherever they need to be, whether it's under number 2, carry number 3, or whatever we're doing. But definitely as they're bailing, they got to keep their eyes inside, especially if we're playing like an athletic quarterback. Definitely want to keep their eyes inside.
Yep. And the next question was kind of part 2 to that question, is coaching points for the defensive ends that are bailing out to either a spot drop on a flat or on number 2.
So what we'll teach is like that Blue Jay stunt. We're going to have them collision the tackle, let that edge pressure clear, and then by that time they're going to know if it's run. I don't want you bailing out. So we're going to have them hold. All right, now it's pass. Well, now I'm getting out. And I'm going to get to my drop. So really, I want them to be sure that it's a pass before they get out of there.
Got it. All right. There is one more question, and I think this is a perfect segue to close here. Are these pressures in your 2 books? I think it's a great time to plug your book as well. So first, if you want to answer Terrence's question, and then you feel free to talk about the book.
Sure. Yes. First and second book. The nickel stuff, not as there's a couple that are in there that I didn't go over in the second book. The 4 down, all the 4 down stuff is in the first book. All the 4 down stuff's in the first book. So, but yes, for the most part, yes.
Perfect. And then, just I'll give you the floor, Coach. Talk about the new book coming out and everything that you have in there.
Sure. Yeah. So the second volume, it's I wrote The Right Defense for Your Program. The first volume released in April. The second one we just finished up. The Kindle version is in pre-order. Amazon got back to me pretty quickly with the paperback, so that's going to go up tomorrow. The link's going to be live tomorrow, and the second one is our nickel pressures, defendant empty with a tight end adjustment. Pressures out of the 4-3, and then I collaborated with a bunch of coaches, great guys all throughout the country. I was talking with Chris about this before we went on, and Eric Kaspowitz from Pine Richland High School, he's the head coach in DC, and myself and Adam Harvey from Hutto High School in Hutto, Texas. We go through our game planning as defensive coordinators from Saturday till Friday night, and between how we break down film, who does what, assigning, practice planning, scheduling, game day call sheet stuff. I think it's great information. And then the last chapter is building a winning culture on and off the field with my brother-in-law, Justin Kramer, who's a college coach, and then Jason Mons from Seguro High School in Arizona. They talk about building the culture from a team perspective. And then John Weaver, who's wide receiver coach in Mississippi, John Torrey from Denison, Iowa, running back coach, and then myself, we talk about our groups, specifically how we build the culture. So myself, it's the black shirt defense. Coach Weaver's with his air raid brigade, the MRA air raid brigade, and then Coach Torrey is his stone cutters, the running backs at his high school in Denison, Iowa. So I really am excited for people to get this and read it because I think they'll get a lot of good information out of it.
Perfect. And where can people find this book if they do want to purchase it?
So it's everything on Amazon right now. I'm going to post a live link for the paperback tomorrow morning, and the Kindle pre-order. The Kindles is going to be released June 15th. I was planning on releasing the paperback June 15th, but Amazon got back to me like quicker than usual. So I was like, I might as well just get it out there. So yeah, everything's on Amazon.
For sure. And for those that are looking at it, we'll post it on our links as well, so everyone can have it as well. Seeing no more questions in the chat, Coach, any last words before we sign off?
No, I just thank you guys for the opportunity, man. This was cool, and I love the interactive piece of this, and you guys do a great job, and I thank you for the opportunity, man. I'm honored and humbled to be here with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate your time. All right, we're going to be signing off right now. I'm Coach Chris Haddad. Coach Ryan Swingle had to drop off for some recruiting. Coach PJ Gibbs, Palmetto Ridge High School in Naples, Florida. Coach, thanks again for your time. And we will see everyone next